The dawn of human fascination with the unknown. Since time immemorial, humanity has been captivated by the idea of life beyond our world. From the earliest cave paintings to modern space exploration, humans have looked to the stars with wonder and trepidation, asking, "Are we alone?" The roots of this fascination run deep, woven into the fabric of human mythology, folklore, and early attempts to understand the universe. Ancient myths and celestial beings. In nearly every culture across the globe, stories of beings from the sky or otherworldly realms have persisted. These myths and legends, though fantastical, often share a common theme: beings not of this earth descending from the heavens, offering wisdom, technology, or even warnings to humanity. In many cases, these encounters are imbued with a sense of fear and reverence, echoing the human fear of the unknown. In ancient Sumer, one of the earliest known civilizations, myths of the Anunnaki, gods who descended from the stars, flourished. These celestial beings were said to have imparted knowledge to humankind, teaching the early Sumerians how to cultivate crops, build cities, and understand the laws of the universe. The Anunnaki were neither fully benevolent nor entirely malevolent. They were enigmatic figures whose motives were inscrutable. This ambivalence, a mixture of awe and fear, set the tone for many subsequent stories of extraterrestrial contact in human history. Similarly, in the ancient Indian texts known as the Vedas, we encounter references to Vimanas, flying chariots capable of traversing vast distances in the sky. The Mahabharata, an epic Hindu poem, recounts the story of these wondrous craft, piloted by gods or powerful beings from other realms. These flying machines were capable of astonishing feats, including interplanetary travel, and their descriptions seem eerily prescient of modern-day UFO encounters. While some argue that these texts describe purely mythical or symbolic occurrences, the idea of advanced, non-human technology arriving from the heavens persists throughout various cultural narratives. Ancient Greek mythology, too, offers intriguing examples of divine beings who came from the skies. The gods of Mount Olympus were often depicted descending to Earth, interacting with humans, and shaping the course of history. The most notable among them, Zeus, frequently assumed human or animal forms to communicate with mortals, but his divine power and alien nature were always evident. His encounters with humans were often fraught with both divine blessings and punishments, a reminder that the gods were both protectors and enforcers of cosmic order. These ancient myths, while rooted in the religious and cultural contexts of their respective civilizations, also provide us with an early glimpse into humanity's complex relationship with the idea of beings from beyond Earth. They portray the heavens as a realm teeming with life, intelligent, powerful, and often incomprehensible to humans. This theme of fear mixed with awe continues to resonate in modern-day encounters with extraterrestrial phenomena. Otherworldly visitors in indigenous folklore. Across the globe, indigenous cultures have their own versions of sky gods, celestial visitors, and strange beings from distant realms. In Native American traditions, various tribes tell of star beings or sky people who came to Earth in times of need. For example, the Hopi tribe speaks of the Ant people, ancient beings who lived underground and helped their ancestors survive a great cataclysm by guiding them to safety. In some narratives, these beings were from the stars, offering technology and wisdom to the people. In the folklore of the Aboriginal people of Australia, there are stories of star people or sky beings who arrived in the Dreamtime, the time before time. These beings are often portrayed as having created the world and its natural laws. The connection between these stories and modern UFO phenomena has been a point of interest for some researchers, who note the similarities between the descriptions of sky people in indigenous folklore and modern reports of extraterrestrial encounters. Throughout history, the idea that beings from the sky, whether gods, spirits, or extraterrestrial entities, have visited Earth in some form has been a constant thread in human storytelling. These myths, passed down through generations, helped shape our collective understanding of the universe and our place within it. However, it was not until the modern era that this ancient fascination evolved into something more scientifically driven, the idea of extraterrestrial life. The birth of science fiction and the fear of the other. As humanity's understanding of the cosmos grew, so too did its capacity for imagining alien life. The dawn of science fiction in the late 19th and early 20th centuries marked a pivotal moment in the evolution of extraterrestrial mythology, moving from mythological stories to speculative fiction that addressed contemporary fears, anxieties, and the rapid advancement of science and technology. The other in early sci-fi literature. The first works of science fiction that focused on alien life reflected the cultural and political anxieties of the time. As the Industrial Revolution reshaped society, many writers began to explore the theme of alien encounters, often framing these encounters in terms of human vulnerability and the fear of the unknown. H. G. Wells' The War of the Worlds, published in 1898, stands as one of the most significant early works to depict extraterrestrial life. In this novel, the Earth is invaded by Martians vastly superior in technology and intelligence to humanity. The Martians are described as cold, calculating, and merciless, sparking a fear that became a hallmark of early alien portrayals, the fear of the other. Wells' Martians are not benevolent or interested in peaceful coexistence. Instead, they view humanity as little more than an obstacle in their quest for survival. The novel's portrayal of alien invasion taps into contemporary fears of imperialism, colonialism, and the destabilizing effects of new technology. The Martians are invaders, and humanity is powerless against their superior weapons and intellect. This depiction of aliens as fearsome invaders, interested only in subjugation and destruction, would become a dominant theme in early science fiction. The otherness of the Martians, both their appearance and their motives, emphasizes the fear that extraterrestrials might not be interested in peaceful coexistence but in domination, exploitation, or even annihilation. The rise of alien encounters in early film. The fear of the other translated seamlessly into early cinema, which began to explore the theme of extraterrestrial life in new and compelling ways. Early science fiction films, such as The Day the Earth Stood Still, 1951, continue the tradition of presenting aliens as formidable forces, sometimes benevolent but often a threat to humanity. In The Day the Earth Stood Still, an alien named Klaatu arrives on Earth with a dire warning: humans must abandon their violent ways or face extinction at the hands of a galactic peacekeeping force. Though Klaatu's message is ultimately one of peace, his presence on Earth, accompanied by his robotic enforcer, Gort, carries a distinct undercurrent of fear. The alien is an outsider, one who comes to judge humanity and hold it accountable for its actions. Once again, the other is an alien presence that may either offer salvation or doom, depending on how humanity responds. These early depictions of extraterrestrial life were shaped by the geopolitical climate of the time, particularly the Cold War, with its pervasive fear of nuclear annihilation and the uncertainty of foreign powers. The portrayal of alien invaders, often seen as a metaphor for totalitarian regimes or hostile foreign nations, tapped into the public's anxieties about the future of humanity in an increasingly unstable world. The War of the Worlds radio broadcast and the birth of alien panic. Perhaps no other event in the history of popular culture has done more to shape the modern perception of extraterrestrial life than Orson Welles' infamous 1938 radio broadcast of The War of the Worlds. Broadcast live on Halloween night, the dramatization of H. G. Wells' novel by the Mercury Theater on the air was presented as a series of news bulletins, which led many listeners to believe that an actual alien invasion was occurring. The Panic of 1938. The broadcast's impact was nothing short of profound. Despite numerous disclaimers and introductory messages, the realistic presentation of the invasion caused widespread panic across the United States. Thousands of listeners, particularly those who tuned in late and missed the initial disclaimer, were convinced that Martians had landed and were attacking cities across the country. The idea that extraterrestrials were capable of invading Earth with such overwhelming power struck a primal fear in the hearts of many. The panic surrounding the War of the Worlds broadcast has been the subject of much study. Scholars have debated whether the panic was widespread or exaggerated by the media. Some argue that the hysteria was largely confined to a small number of listeners who had tuned in late or who had missed the program's introductory statements, while others contend that the broadcast played a significant role in shaping public perceptions of alien life and extraterrestrial encounters. What is clear, however, is that the broadcast reinforced the prevailing narrative of the alien other. The Martians in the broadcast were not here to communicate or coexist. They were invaders, bent on humanity's destruction. The idea of extraterrestrial life, previously confined to the realms of myth and science fiction, had suddenly entered the public consciousness in a terrifyingly real way. Legacy of fear and fascination. The War of the Worlds broadcast marked a watershed moment in the history of extraterrestrial encounters. While public reaction was certainly influenced by the tense geopolitical climate of the 1930s, it also reinforced a central theme that would persist throughout the 20th century: the fear of the other. As the years passed and the space age began, humanity's fascination with extraterrestrial life evolved. The early fear and trepidation associated with alien encounters gave way to a more nuanced approach in modern science fiction. While some works still portray aliens as menacing invaders, others explore the possibilities of peaceful coexistence, mutual understanding, and the potential for new forms of communication and collaboration. Yet, the legacy of the other endures. The question of whether extraterrestrial life, should it exist, will be a threat or a partner remains a central theme in both popular culture and scientific inquiry. The myths of ancient civilizations, the early works of science fiction, and the panic sparked by the War of the Worlds broadcast have all contributed to a deeply ingrained cultural narrative, a narrative that continues to shape our hopes and fears about the unknown. As humanity reaches ever further into the cosmos, the question of whether we are alone in the universe and whether the other will arrive is one that continues to captivate the imagination. From ancient myths to modern encounters, the story of our relationship with extraterrestrial life is still unfolding, one myth, one story, and one discovery at a time. Chapter 5: The Space Age and the Changing Image of the Other. As humanity moved into the space age in the mid-20th century, the perception of extraterrestrial life began to shift. The Apollo missions, Sputnik, and the burgeoning field of astrobiology all fueled a new sense of possibility. With each new discovery, humankind's understanding of the universe deepened, and the long-standing myth of extraterrestrial life evolved into a subject of serious scientific inquiry. But, even as space exploration began to stretch the limits of human ambition, the old fears and imaginations about aliens remained potent in public consciousness. The search for life beyond Earth. The quest to discover life beyond Earth grew more intense as the space race unfolded. In the 1960s, the United States and the Soviet Union were locked in a competition to explore outer space. While the first steps taken by humans on the moon were monumental, many researchers looked beyond Earth's atmosphere for signs of extraterrestrial life. The discovery of the first exoplanets, alongside the realization that there might be many more planets in the habitable zone, reignited the age-old question: are we alone? Astrobiology, the scientific study of life in the universe, emerged as a distinct field of inquiry. The search for microbial life on Mars, the potential for life beneath the icy crusts of moons like Europa and Enceladus, and the discovery of extremophiles, organisms that thrive in the most hostile environments on Earth, shifted the conversation about alien life from fantasy to scientific plausibility. These discoveries led to a paradigm shift: extraterrestrial life might not be so far-fetched after all. However, while the scientific community explored these possibilities, the general public's image of aliens was often still rooted in the fictional tropes of the 20th century, ranging from the menacing invaders of the War of the Worlds to the benevolent, yet enigmatic visitors of Close Encounters of the Third Kind, 1977. In both instances, the idea that extraterrestrial life could be vastly different from humanity, both in terms of intelligence and culture, was explored, yet the emotional reaction to these visitors was shaped by the same underlying fear of the other. The alien encounter in popular culture. By the late 1970s and into the 1980s, extraterrestrial life had become a central theme in popular culture, with Hollywood films offering a wide spectrum of portrayals. In the 1980s, E.T., the Extraterrestrial, 1982, directed by Steven Spielberg, presented a radically different view of extraterrestrials. rather than invaders. E.T. was an innocent, vulnerable alien, one that sought to return to his home and form a bond with a young human child. The film's portrayal of aliens as peaceful and empathetic was a stark contrast to the previous decade's depictions of alien visitors as cold, calculating, or hostile. Yet, not all representations of extraterrestrials were so heartwarming. Ridley Scott's Alien, 1979, and its subsequent franchise focused on a terrifying, parasitic alien life form, one that could invade human bodies and ultimately destroy the crew of the spaceship Nostromo. The film, and later the Alien series, once again revived the notion of extraterrestrial life as a deadly threat, but this time, it was framed within the horror genre rather than science fiction. The Alien series plays heavily on the fear of the other, but this other is not simply an invader from another planet. It's a fundamentally alien life form that embodies the unknown, the monstrous, and the unnerving. The late 20th century marked the culmination of the alien as both a cultural archetype and a multifaceted symbol, one that could represent both the hope of interspecies understanding and the terror of encountering something beyond human comprehension. The UFO phenomenon and government disclosure. While science fiction explored the vast possibilities of alien life, the UFO phenomenon began to capture the public's attention in more direct ways. From the 1940s onwards, reports of unidentified flying objects, UFOs, became increasingly common, with many claiming to have witnessed strange aerial phenomena that seemed to defy conventional understanding. The Roswell incident and the birth of UFO culture. Perhaps the most famous UFO-related event in modern history is the 1947 Roswell incident. According to reports, a mysterious object crashed on a ranch near Roswell, New Mexico, and was initially described as a flying disc by the U.S. military. In the days that followed, the U.S. government issued a retraction, claiming the object was a weather balloon. However, conspiracy theories surrounding the event flourished, with many suggesting that the government had covered up the discovery of an alien spacecraft. The Roswell incident became a touchstone for UFO enthusiasts and conspiracy theorists, igniting a wave of speculation about government cover-ups, secret alien technology, and encounters with extraterrestrials. In the years following the incident, the idea of UFOs and alien abductions became entrenched in popular culture, with reports of strange lights, mysterious encounters, and purported alien experiments continuing to surface across the globe. As UFO sightings continued into the 1960s and beyond, a new breed of literature and media emerged, one that focused less on the fear of invasion and more on the curiosity surrounding the phenomena. Books, television shows, and films dedicated to UFOs and alien encounters proliferated, blending fact and fiction in ways that further blurred the line between the two. The alien abduction narrative, in particular, gained prominence with accounts of individuals who claimed to have been taken aboard UFOs, subjected to experiments, and returned with little or no memory of the experience. Government disclosure and the question of contact. The 21st century saw increased interest in the potential for official disclosure regarding UFOs and the question of extraterrestrial life. In 2020, the U.S. Department of Defense declassified several videos showing unidentified aerial phenomena, UAPs, recorded by military personnel. These videos, which depicted objects moving at incredible speeds and performing maneuvers that defied conventional physics, fueled renewed speculation about the existence of extraterrestrial life and the government's role in concealing such knowledge. The idea that governments around the world may be hiding the truth about UFOs has been the subject of countless conspiracy theories, documentaries, and books. However, the official stance has been that many UFO sightings can be attributed to misidentifications of natural or man-made phenomena, with only a small percentage remaining unexplained. Even so, the growing acknowledgement of these phenomena has further stirred the public's imagination. The growing acceptance of extraterrestrial life. Despite the uncertainty and intrigue surrounding UFOs, there is a growing consensus among scientists that life, though possibly not in the form we expect, may exist elsewhere in the universe. Recent missions to Mars, the discovery of potentially habitable exoplanets, and the continued search for extraterrestrial intelligence, SETI, all suggest that humanity is on the cusp of a major shift in how we view life beyond Earth. As the technology and tools to detect alien life become more sophisticated, the possibility of an actual, scientifically verified discovery of extraterrestrial life may be closer than ever before. As more information emerges and the mysteries surrounding UFOs and alien life continue to captivate the public's imagination, it's possible that the fear of the other will evolve once again. Rather than viewing extraterrestrials as invaders, humanity may begin to see them as potential partners in a vast, interconnected cosmos. The shift from fear to curiosity, from hostility to cooperation, could represent a turning point in human history, one that moves us beyond our old myths and into a new era of exploration. The future of human-aliens encounters. As the 21st century unfolds, humanity's fascination with extraterrestrial life continues to evolve. No longer confined to ancient myths or fictional portrayals, the possibility of first contact with an alien civilization remains a tantalizing and uncertain prospect. What might such an encounter look like? Would we find peaceful beings willing to share knowledge and technology? Or would we face an alien race whose motives are as inscrutable and terrifying as those imagined by early sci-fi writers? While these questions remain unanswered, one thing is certain: the legacy of the other will continue to shape our perceptions of extraterrestrial life. From the ancient gods who descended from the heavens to the Martians of H.G. Wells, from the benevolent visitors of E.T. to the hostile invaders of Alien, humanity's depiction of extraterrestrials reflects our deepest fears, hopes, and aspirations. Whether through the lens of mythology, fiction, or science, our encounters with the other, whether real or imagined, will remain a defining feature of our relationship with the universe. As we continue to reach out to the stars, the ancient myth of the alien other may finally give way to something new, a future where humanity steps out into the cosmos not with fear, but with curiosity, wonder, and the hope that we are not alone in the universe. Chapter 8: The Evolution of Contact from Science Fiction to Reality. As the 21st century progresses, humanity's ongoing exploration of space raises profound questions about what contact with extraterrestrial life might look like. What if we're not just observing the stars, but actively preparing for a future where alien encounters are inevitable? The idea of first contact, once a fictional trope, has begun to shift into a more pragmatic, scientific conversation. The search for extraterrestrial intelligence, SETI. In the early days of space exploration, astronomers focused on detecting signals from other civilizations as part of the search for extraterrestrial intelligence, SETI. While this search has yielded no definitive evidence of alien life, the discovery of thousands of exoplanets, particularly those within the so-called habitable zone, has made the search more compelling. The possibility that intelligent life exists somewhere in the universe has transformed from a speculative theory into a focused, data-driven quest. One of the most recent and intriguing developments in this pursuit occurred in 2024, when the discovery of a mysterious signal emanating from Proxima Centauri, our nearest stellar neighbor, briefly captured the world's attention. Though initial analyses suggested the signal might be natural, the possibility that it was artificially generated raised questions of a very different nature. Could this be the first evidence of intelligent extraterrestrial life? This discovery did not lead to a frenzy, as many expected, but instead fostered a more calculated, cautious approach. Scientists and governments, wary of the potential consequences of making a public announcement, chose to continue their investigations in private, conducting further analyses and ruling out every other possible cause. The signal, despite its mysterious origins, became another data point in the broader search for extraterrestrial intelligence. For the public, however, it ignited a sense of hope. The dream of first contact, once relegated to the realm of fiction, was edging closer to reality. But as humanity awaited definitive proof, another thought began to take hold. If intelligent life did exist beyond Earth, how would we even begin to communicate with such beings? The communication paradox: understanding the alien mind. If alien life exists, the question of how we might communicate with them presents one of the greatest challenges humanity has ever faced. Communication is not just about exchanging information, it's about understanding each other's intentions, emotions, and even the very framework through which a species perceives the world. Early portrayals of aliens in science fiction often focused on human-alien communication through technology. Think of the universal translator in Star Trek, or the ability to communicate via technology in Close Encounters of the Third Kind. While these scenarios are appealing and convenient, they ignore the complexities of actually connecting with a species that might not even share any of the same sensory modalities or cognitive structures as humans. What if their forms of communication are not based on sound or sight, but something entirely alien such as electromagnetic signals, biochemical exchanges, or even telepathy? One possibility that has gained traction among scientists is the idea of astrobiology-driven language. This is the concept that life elsewhere in the universe may operate on fundamentally different biological principles than we do. While humans have evolved to communicate via spoken language, vision, and hearing, extraterrestrials might use chemical signals, light pulses, or even quantum entanglement to convey meaning. The development of universal scientific principles, like mathematics or physics, may be one of the few potential common denominators we share with extraterrestrial species. After all, the laws of physics should apply throughout the universe, regardless of the species interpreting them. Perhaps the most promising example of this is the Arecibo message, a binary encoded radio message sent into space in 1974, aimed at potentially intelligent extraterrestrial life. While we have yet to receive a response, the message itself was a carefully crafted attempt to communicate fundamental aspects of humanity, our physical form, our numerical systems, and our understanding of the universe. But, like all human endeavors, it was limited by our assumptions. What if the beings who receive it can't interpret our binary code? What if their methods of processing information are so radically different that they cannot comprehend our message? The difficulty of communication may not be just technical, but philosophical. How would humans react to the first real message from an alien civilization? Would it be a moment of euphoria, or would it trigger existential fear? In a world where even miscommunications between cultures on Earth can lead to war or misunderstanding, the first genuine attempt at cross-species communication could prove to be one of the most delicate moments in human history. The ethical dilemmas of contact. The excitement over potential alien contact is tempered by the reality of the risks and ethical questions it raises. As humanity prepares to meet another civilization, whether through the discovery of microbial life, intelligent beings, or something entirely unknown, new challenges emerge. The possibility of hostile encounters. A recurring theme in early science fiction was the fear that alien civilizations might be inherently hostile. These extraterrestrials would come to Earth with no interest in peaceful interaction, but rather to conquer, exploit, or destroy. Although this fear is often portrayed as a product of Cold War-era anxieties, the idea that any alien species with the power to travel between the stars might do so for aggressive purposes still holds sway in some corners of scientific thought. What if the alien civilization is so technologically advanced that their actions are beyond our comprehension, and their intentions or lack thereof are ultimately indifferent to our survival? The very existence of such an advanced species could render humanity irrelevant, or worse, expendable. One of the ethical dilemmas surrounding alien contact lies in how we should approach potentially hostile species. Should we prepare for conflict, assuming that any alien species will be a threat? Or should we focus on building defenses and diplomatic protocols in case of a peaceful encounter that later turns hostile? The ethics of first contact. On the other hand, what if alien life is peaceful? What if they come to us not with weapons, but with knowledge, solutions, and advancements? The idea of a utopian first contact is one that offers both hope and uncertainty. How would humanity handle such a situation? The ethics of contact with extraterrestrials are complex. For instance, should humanity share all of our knowledge with extraterrestrials, or should we withhold certain technologies, especially those that could have destructive consequences? Could humanity, historically so obsessed with its own technological and military superiority, handle an exchange of knowledge from a species vastly more advanced than ours? Furthermore, how would we treat the first alien species we encounter? Would we see them as equals, or would we be tempted to exploit them, just as humans have exploited the natural world and each other for centuries? The lessons of colonialism and imperialism could serve as an unfortunate blueprint should humanity fail to recognize the inherent dignity and rights of alien beings. The role of governments and global cooperation. The question of who controls alien knowledge is another ethical challenge. The revelation of extraterrestrial life would undoubtedly spark political, social, and scientific debates. What if different governments, corporations, or factions attempted to monopolize the knowledge, technology, or resources derived from extraterrestrial contact? Should the discovery of alien life be a global matter, requiring cooperation and collective decision-making, or should it be handled by a single nation or entity? Given the fractured state of global politics, would such an event lead to unity, or would it exacerbate existing tensions? In some circles, there is a growing call for international treaties and agreements to guide the conduct of space exploration and extraterrestrial contact. The United Nations Office for Outer Space Affairs, UNOSA, has been working to develop frameworks for peaceful space exploration, but the reality is that there is currently no global agreement on how humanity would approach first contact. The rapid pace of technological development and private sector space exploration only complicates matters further, as commercial interests may not align with ethical or diplomatic considerations. The great unknown, the future of hope and fear. As the 21st century unfolds, the question of extraterrestrial life remains one of the most profound and unresolved mysteries facing humanity. The future of our encounters with alien civilizations, whether microbial or intelligent, holds both immense promise and potential peril. We may find life that is radically different from anything we've imagined, life that transcends our biological limitations, our ideas of intelligence, or even our understanding of consciousness itself. But we must also face the possibility that the universe may be empty, that Earth might be a singular anomaly in a vast, silent cosmos. The search for extraterrestrial life, whether through the study of exoplanets, the hunt for signals, or the exploration of our own solar system, is not just an exploration of the cosmos, it is a journey into the unknown parts of ourselves. It challenges us to confront our deepest fears and aspirations, asking whether we are prepared for what we might find. Will humanity embrace the discovery of extraterrestrial life, regardless of its form, with curiosity and openness, or will we react with the same fear and distrust that we have often reserved for the unknown? In the end, whether we meet aliens as friends or foes, the greatest discovery of all may be the realization that we are part of something much larger than ourselves, a universe teeming with possibility, with life, and with the mysteries of existence. Chapter 12, A New Beginning, the Future of Humanity and the Cosmos. As we stand on the precipice of a new era, humanity's relationship with the cosmos is being reshaped in ways we could never have imagined. The questions that once existed solely within the realm of ancient myth and speculative fiction are now grounded in scientific discovery, technological advancements, and an increasing awareness of our place in the universe. The search for extraterrestrial life has moved beyond ancient stories of gods descending from the heavens. It has evolved from myths of monsters and invaders, from the fears that once gripped our imagination, into a genuine scientific endeavor and attempt to bridge the vast, mysterious distance between Earth and the stars. From the first tentative radio signals sent out into space to the probes now traveling across distant planets and moons, humanity has slowly expanded its reach into the unknown. But as the scientific discoveries unfold, we must also reflect on the moral and ethical questions that accompany the possibility of contact with extraterrestrial civilizations. The stories of alien invaders and benevolent visitors have shaped our imaginations, but they have also shaped our fears. The reality of encountering extraterrestrial life, however different it may be from our fantasies, will force us to confront the very nature of what it means to be human. Will we be capable of kindness and understanding, or will we cling to the same territorial, fearful instincts that have guided us throughout our history? As we look to the future, it's clear that humanity is at a crossroads. The next steps, whether in reaching out to find the first signs of life beyond Earth or in preparing for the first contact with an alien species, will test our ability to cooperate, to rise above our differences, and to see ourselves not as isolated beings on a small planet, but as part of a grand, interconnected universe. The stories of ancient gods, of interplanetary warfare, of encounters between the human race and the other are no longer just tales to be told. They are the foundation of our aspirations, our fears, and our potential future. In the coming decades, we may discover that the universe is more populous than we ever imagined, teeming with life forms that challenge our understanding of biology, intelligence, and communication. Or, perhaps, we will find that we are truly alone, that Earth is a unique cradle of life in an otherwise barren cosmos. Either way, this quest for answers will lead humanity into new realms of knowledge and, possibly, new ways of being. In the end, the pursuit of extraterrestrial life is more than just a search for alien beings. It is a search for meaning, for connection, and for our place in the cosmos. It is a journey that forces us to look inward as much as outward, to ask not just whether we are alone in the universe, but whether we can transcend our fears, our divisions, and our limitations in order to welcome the unknown with open hearts and minds. The story of humanity's fascination with extraterrestrial life is far from over. It is only just beginning. Whether the beings we encounter are as ancient as the stars themselves or as alien as our most vivid dreams, one thing is certain: the future of human exploration, understanding, and connection with the cosmos holds infinite possibilities. The journey to the stars, to other worlds, to other beings, may one day become the defining narrative of our species. And when we look up to the night sky, we will know that we are no longer merely gazing at the unknown, we are reaching for it, ready to embrace the possibilities that await, with courage, curiosity, and the hope that we are part of something much greater than ourselves.